Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thank you for joining me today. Today is an interesting day. It's raining outside. They've picked up all the leaves that I've bagged, and I'm on my way shortly to go and get my flu shot. I've been told by my sister I can expect a cold, so I'm doing this video in advance of a day or two should I come down with a cold, because you won't want to hear me sniffling on the video while I deal with this cold. Anyway, do you know what this is? This here is the most popular drink in the world. Yep, the whole globe, the whole thing. The most popular drink in the world is water. Yep, there we go. What do you know about that? Now, guess what is the second most popular drink in all of the world? No, it is not coffee. It is not fruit juice. It's not hot chocolate. It is tea. What can I say? I've been right all along. It's tea. You got to be drinking some tea. And of course, as you know, I kind of like the English breakfast tea, the decaf tea. It's great stuff. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about why I bought this drill press. This was not my first choice. Let me say that right up front. It's a fine drill press, but it was not my first choice. My first choice was to have one that stood on the floor and came up here with the head. So it's simply this post longer all the way to the floor. And the reason for that is when I build the guitar neck and I put the inserts in the end of it, I do it on the drill press so that I get it straight, and I have to square it up, but I haven't got enough room between here and here, the bottom, for the drill press. So the neck is longer than this piece in here, and so consequently, it just doesn't work. This is not really good for a neck, but I made it work. So let me tell you how I went about doing this. First of all, this here is nothing more than a cutting board. I have got this thing, it's square. I can put my work into here, set up where I want it, move it around, drill it through, and we're good to go. So let's get that out of the way. The next thing I did was I made this tabletop, because this top here, this comes off very nicely. I do like that. There it is there. And you can see here, there's an edge all the way around it, which is great for clamping. Because I'm dealing with some bigger pieces, I can clamp around here or onto here or out here. But this is kind of neat. Now, while we've got this off, let me tell you the main reason that I bought this drill press. This drill press will tilt. If I undo the bolt in here, it will tilt up to 45 degrees. And that's what's on the website. Well, I got news for you. I don't want one going 45. I want it 90 degrees. Because I'm going to come back to about 89, maybe 88. And then when this thing is, we'll call it sitting at 90 degrees, I can clamp my neck on it, move it around, just as you saw this thing move here. Let's push that back again so you can see that. Just so if my neck is on here, I can adjust it until I get the bit exactly where I want it. And once I've done that and I've got my clamps on here to hold my neck on, then I can drill it down. But I have to turn this sideways. Now this will turn around in any which way, shape, or form I want. And because I had the bench already, this piece for a previous drill press, I thought, you know what, I really need to keep the bench and utilize it. It's all about space for me. I have so little space that this becomes really important. Okay, so we now know I can do the guitar neck on here and put the inserts in the end, and that's important. Now, coming down here, the travel on this is pretty good. We've got quite a bit of distance that you can come all the way down. The last drill press I had did not have the stop here. Now this has got a ruler here, and it's a stop guide all the way up and down so that you can lower this and have it come down, well, as far as you want it, and boom, there it is. It's locked. You want it a little deeper, you can go up a little higher, and you can bring it down deeper. With the finish that is on here, that is kind of pebbly, it's come into here, so that means this flat piece here and this is not going to give me an accurate measurement on here. That's a drawback for me, but I'm not going to rely on this anyway. This is simply to serve as a guide and to help me when I need it. Now, obviously, you've seen this move around and move out of the way. It's a 3/4 horsepower motor, and it's got variable speed. Now, one of the really neat features is this cheap plastic hood that they've got up here. It's got to crack eventually. It's really crummy, but you can see that they've got an adjustable pulley system. There's 2 pulleys up here, and what Ripcon have done is they have allowed for a variable speed here. So if I flip this on, this is now turning 110, 140. So if I want it a little faster, I simply do this. We're now up to 220, 225, and this is going to go all the way up to about 600. To go beyond the 600 to the 2800 that they advertise, I've still got to go back in here and change the belt to a different pulley. Just one, mind you. You don't have all those pulleys all the way up and down. Here we are at 700 in speed. I really don't need to go much beyond that. But one of the key elements in this thing for me was to be able to turn on a light and to be able to turn on a laser. So I have the cross beams here for a laser, which is really important for a guy whose hands shake as much as mine do. Now, if I take a drill bit here, for example, this is a brad point bit. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar with a brad point, the drill has a little tip on the end that comes to an exact point, which allows me to put this right dead center on the X that's on the particular piece of wood that I'm working on. That gives me an accurate location, much better than what I had before, because before, without this, I'm just wiggling this stuff all over the place and moving things around, trying desperately to get this so that it would work. I like the drill press. It's quiet, relatively speaking. There's a little bit of noise. I mean, it's a 3/4 horsepower, and of course you can get a little vibration out of that wonderful quality of plastic that they used up here. I don't know why they would do that. What happened to the metal, guys? So we can turn this little puppy off. There's the light. You can get a real good look at the light here. It's right here, right? So you've got light on your work. You've got the cross beam, so you know exactly where to drill. Now up in here, I told you I didn't like it. This is like a powder finish. They've blown it on here. So what I did is I took a file, and I have filed around here, and I've taken it down so that if I do come down to approximately where I want this thing, it's a little more accurate because it's filed, it's smooth. But here it is. I can actually see that it's tight back here on the back, but not the front. So that's either an alignment thing here, because you can see that moves a bit, which means tightening this up. So I haven't done that. When it was shipped, I picked this up at Lee Valley actually to save the shipping cost, because this stuff is heavy. And it came with this in a separate bag all covered in grease. This table top was into a bag covered in grease. The post was in it's all in styrofoam, you know, and it was all greased up. And this head unit all came as one piece. So it was very easy for me to get some help and carry this down here into the basement, put this into the stand here, and then there's just a set screw right here. I don't think you can see it, but it's right here. And they give you a few tools to use here to make changes. Nobody has talked, by the way, about turning this table 90 degrees, and everybody says it cannot be done. But I am doing it, and in another video that we're going to be doing soon, because I'm still working on the binding on the body of the guitar, and very soon, as you can see here, I've started to do the curve. I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to do this in pieces. I'm going to actually put this in here, and then I'm going to glue it in, and then I'll do this and then glue it in, so that way I can get to a better thing with my hands. That's all working around the hands. Well, anyway, that's a little bit. Now, Bonnie Dest wanted to know about this drill press. She had asked me. Some of the others have asked me. But you know what surprises me? Nobody has asked me about my shirt. What do you think of the logo? One of our subscribers changed the logo around to show the strings thicker at the top and thinner at the bottom and straighten them out more like a guitar. And this, I got merch. What can I say? That's the term, right? We used to call it in my day merchandise, but I got merch. So if you're interested, you know where it is. It's in the links down below. Also, there's a link down below to my book, which has been received extremely well. I wrote another 1.5 articles this morning, and I'll be doing some more this afternoon, and I'm also working on my little mystery that I'll tell you about a little later on. So that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. I'm now going to have and enjoy, after you subscribe and you hit the like button, I'm going to enjoy the second most popular drink in all the world. I've been telling you this. English breakfast tea is decaf is my preferred drink because of my shaky hands. But seriously, the second most popular drink in the world. Who knew? Oh boy. Well, I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully I won't have a cold. See ya. By the way, thank you for joining me, and thank you for your support. You guys are the best. Bye now.